Alright, today we are at North America's largest prehistoric city. Alright, today we are at North America's largest prehistoric city, Cahokia Mounds. It's in, obviously, Cahokia, Illinois. A fun fact is it was named Cahokia after the natives that lived here whenever Europeans first came and found out about it. They were not the original inhabitants of Cahokia Mounds who created these mounds, so they actually had no idea like what these mounds were used for. They were just there whenever they came here. But it's a gorgeous, gorgeous site. These mounds held a lot of ritual and religious purpose for a lot of these ancient Cahokian peoples, which are, I'm sorry, they're Mississippian peoples, I apologize. And the Mississippi helped fuel a lot of trade. Alright, so this is the first mound that you come up to whenever you start the trail. It looks really small on camera, but it's pretty freaking big. Do you want to go run up there? Yeah, it's pretty big. How tall are you? 5'11"? 5'11". Yeah. So this thing is pretty big, and it's one of the smaller mounds, I think. So I grew up around the area, and my elementary school, we used to do like annual tours out here, and we got to climb up the mount, well, the big mound, not the small mounds, obviously. This is really cool. This is the South Stockade. Excavations here in 1968 discovered that 4 of the stockade walls ran through this part of the site, including 1 wall with a round bastion and 2 with rectangular bastions. The partial reconstruction seen here represents one of the open back bastions associated with the 3rd or 4th construction of the wall. Excavations in 1988 found more sections of the stockade wall and portions of a round and rectangular bastion farther to the west. They also showed where the Mississippi had filled in part of this area before building the walls. So that's really cool. It's cool that this structure has lasted for so long. Since it's probably during its decline, it was probably built around 1200 CE. It's amazing. This is wood from trees that were cut down for people who lived almost 1,000 years ago. That is so cool. Alright, so this gorgeous mound, I'm not sure if you can really tell over the video or not, but it kind of has like a lump and a lump. Oh, it's kind of shaded, so that's probably why you can't see that second bump. So anyways, this is actually a burial mound when the site was active, obviously. So in one of the bigger bumps, there's a lot of burials in this mound from different time periods as well, actually. There's one where they think it was a ritual sacrifice. I'm not entirely sure, so do not quote me on that. Of 53 young women, I think they were aged between like their mid-teens to like 25 years old, so they had there's like a preference for that specific one. But they all seem to have, they didn't have any like wounds on their bodies whenever they were found, so the archaeologists assume that they either were strangled or maybe were poisoned to death. They think this has to do with some kind of ritual. And all 53 women were actually from Cahokia Mounds. There were people from all over the Moundville societies throughout the country that would come to Cahokia Mounds and do rituals every once in a while. And so whenever they first saw it, they thought, oh, maybe it was kind of like each society took a woman to be sacrificed. But no, they actually all came from this area, and they found this out via isotopic analysis on their bones to figure out where they had grown up. So that's really interesting, kind of sad, but I'm sure that they were proud of what they were doing. And then there's also the second bump, the smaller bump, that's kind of hidden with the shadows. And that had at least 7 people in it. And they were men and women, actually. So they were buried with grave goods. And this include 2 bushels of unprocessed mica, a mineral which actually is mica is a mineral from the Appalachian Mountains. So that's how we know this is such a big society, and they had a lot of trading going on. They also had shell beads from the Gulf of Mexico, and they also had some game stones. And there's also a staff made of copper. That copper was sourced from around Lake Superior. Hundreds and hundreds of arrowheads that were with it as well.